Hello everyone, welcome to our first recorded yoga sequence. I'm here with Wes. Wes is gonna help me. He's gonna face opposite direction of me so that you can see both angles. So I might be switching up some directions, but he's gonna be doing it like if he were in a yoga class because he's in a yoga class. I also am going to be sending you guys a playlist or linking this video to a playlist on Spotify. And it's the playlist that we're going to listen to. So if you want to listen to music while you do this sequence, that playlist is synced up with what we're doing. If you don't want to listen to music, you don't have to listen to music. It's completely and totally up to you. But you can go ahead and start that right now. So begin on your mat, in the center of your mat, and try, instead of crossing your legs at the ankles, try and set one ankle in front of the other. Or if that's completely uncomfortable for you, then you can cross your ankles still, but just try for a second and allow your legs to just fall without any crossing. So they're just sitting side by side here. And allow your eyes to gently drift close. So in our world today, there's a lot of rushing, a lot of chaos, a lot of disorientation. And I just want to take tonight to find our breath, find our stillness, and be okay with stillness. So begin to draw attention to your breath, just breathing completely normally. Finding the rhythm of your inhales and your exhales. And on your next inhale, go ahead and close your mouth, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, doing what's called the Ujjayi breath or victorious breath. So you're going to allow the air to play and swirl at the back of your throat, gently tightening those throat muscles. And when you breathe out, you should hear an audible sound, kind of like Darth Vader or like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Practice that breath a couple of times. And then go ahead and slow it down just a little bit. So try and count to 4 on your next inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, babe. And on your next outhale, oh, sorry, I paused that. So on an inhale, go ahead and count to 4. Hold for 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold at the bottom for 3. And then start your inhale again, counting to 4, holding for 3 seconds in between your inhales and exhales. And just try that with your Ujjayi breath for a few breaths. 1, 2, 3. Anytime that you need a refresher or a break, this is a great practice, just counting the seconds in between your breaths. Sneezing lets out some energy too, that's good.
Yeah, corona.
Yeah, it's got the coronavirus. So just counting those seconds in between your breaths really helps you to recenter and realign. So now we're going to move on to focusing on our spine. So begin to focus on your tailbone, rooting into the ground like you're a tree. And then slightly engage the Uddiyana Bandha, the bandha just under your belly button. So just slightly engage those muscles. Straighten your spine a little bit, tuck your chin back slightly so that you feel that energy flow, that prana rushing through your spine. And once you sit here for just a second, connecting with all 3 of those bandhas, your chin lock, your Uddiyana Bandha, and your root lock, you're going to go ahead and raise your hands up high overhead and gaze in between your thumbs toward the ceiling. Remember to connect to that breath. And on an exhale, go ahead and twist to your right, taking your left hand to your right knee. You can go ahead and peek over your shoulder if you'd like a little bit of a deep twist, but just remember to let go of any tension. So instead of pulling yourself with your arms. You're just twisting with your spine, engaging your core muscles. And on an exhale, go ahead and come back to center. Beautiful. We're going to inhale, raise our arms up high overhead again. Exhale, twist in the opposite direction. Right hand comes to left knee this time. Remembering to release any tension, keeping that spine nice and straight. And on an exhale, come back to center. Great. Now you're going to go ahead and straighten your legs out in front of you. We call this Dandasana, or staff pose. And flex your feet towards your face. Keep your hands planted on the mat beside you to kind of lift up your chest a little bit. You don't have to straighten your arms, but just plant your hands there and drop your shoulders away from your ears. Bending your elbows if you need to. Awesome. Now try and flex your thigh muscles and your kneecaps towards your face so that you lift your heels up off of the mat. Gazing forward. Hold here and breathe for a few breaths. Nice and audible. Great job. Go ahead and release back down to the ground. Shake off your legs a little bit. We're going to do this one more time. So after you shake them off, go ahead and plant your hands again. Flex your feet towards your face. Lift up off of the ground, engaging all of your thigh muscles, your leg muscles. And on your next exhale, slowly lower your feet down to the ground. And if your feet don't come up off of the ground, that's fine. We're just engaging these thigh muscles. We're going to do this one more time. So shake them out, do what you need to do. Stretch your legs if you're getting any cramps or anything. That tends to happen sometimes. Plant your hands back up down by your side. Go ahead and lift up again. Flexing your feet actively towards your face. Warming up all of the muscles in our thighs. Sending lots of love and energy. Awesome. Exhale to release. Go ahead and scoot a little bit forward on your mat and come to your back here, keeping your knees pointed up towards the sky. Actually, lift your chest up off of the ground, keeping your hands planted behind you. Just go ahead and keep your knees here. Plant your hands behind you though and lift your chest up off of the ground. We're going to start here. Awesome. Straighten your left leg out in front of you. And begin to engage those same muscles that we did in Dandasana, but go ahead and lift your leg up as high as you can. Once you reach that limit, hold 1, 2, 3, and slowly lower back down to the ground. Not touching the earth all the way, sorry, I should have said that earlier. Not touching the earth all the way, and then go ahead and lift back up again on your next inhale. Slowly lower down on your next exhale. One more time. Inhale all the way to the top. Hold 1, 2, 3. Lower all the way down to the ground this time, and go ahead and switch legs. So straighten out your right leg this time, bending your left knee. All right, flex those muscles that we did before, and on an inhale, go ahead and raise your leg up to the sky. Hold 1, 2, 3. Slowly lower down to the ground, but not all the way so that your heel is slightly up off of the ground. Inhale all the way back up to the top. Hold 1, 2, 3. Slowly lower all the way down. Inhale to lift up. Hold 1, 2, 3. Slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Perfect. Back into Dandasana. Straighten out those legs. Shake them out a little bit here. And go ahead and take your left arm across your body, grabbing at your wrist here. So, I guess you're in the front, so we do that. Grabbing at your wrist, pulling across your chest, keeping your arm nice and straight. So if you're here, that's awesome. Stay there. If you're here, that's also great, but try and keep that elbow nice and straight so you're not hugging yourself that way. Awesome. Exhale to release. Go ahead and shake and go to the other side. Awesome. Hands plant at your side. Go ahead and roll your neck around in a couple of circles. Whatever way feels good to you. You can go side to side. You can roll all the way through and then switch directions. Awesome. And then when you're ready, now we're going to go ahead and go onto our backs. So keeping your knees bent towards the sky, lay all the way down. And we're going to go into bridge pose here. So keep your palms on the mat, fingers spread nice and wide. Plant your feet into the earth and go ahead and begin to lift your pelvis up towards the sky and start to walk your shoulder blades underneath your, trying to reach underneath your neck so that you're kind of reaching more towards your feet instead of towards the opposite wall. Awesome. Lift a little bit higher in your pelvis than you want to. Engaging those thigh muscles. Awesome. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down onto your back. Great, rest here for just a second. Beautiful. Go ahead and lift your hips up towards the sky again. Walking your shoulder blades underneath your body if you need to. This time try to lift a little bit higher. You can walk your feet in if you need a little bit more leverage. Remembering your breath. Awesome. Slowly lower all the way down. This time lift your left leg up in the air. Engage this leg. So whether you flex your foot or point your toes, just keep your legs engaged. If you point your toes, the back of your leg is going to be engaged. If you flex your foot, you're going to get more of a quad stretch. Yes, that's what they're called, quads. So go ahead and flex or point the toes and begin to lift your hips up off of the ground again. Walking those shoulder blades underneath if you need to, keeping your hands planted, fingers wide on the mat. Breathe. Lift a little bit higher and exhale to release. Beautiful. Bring that foot down. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Flex or point toes. Try and do the same thing that you did on the opposite side, and when you're ready, go ahead and lift up towards the sky. Remember your breath. Lift a little bit higher. If you're shaking like me, that's great. It's that energy. Slowly lower back down to the earth. Beautiful job. We're going to do that once more on either side. Shake it out a little bit. All right, left leg lifts towards the sky. This time try and do the opposite of what you did with your toes last time. So if you flex your toes, try and point them. If you point it, try and flex. And when you're ready, go ahead and lift up towards the sky. Breathing through, lifting a little higher. Exhale to release. Beautiful. Lower all the way down, switch to the other side. And lift when you're ready. Do a little bit higher. And exhale to release. Beautiful. Go ahead and roll over onto your right side. So right here, you can grab, if you're near a pillow or a blanket, you can grab that. If you have a pillow, you can just use that. Or if you have a blanket, you can go ahead and roll it up and use it as a little bit of a pillow. You can either bring your arm straight over it or bring it in front of your arm and lay down here, keeping your right knee bent, straightening out that left leg. Whew, I'm a little bit out of breath already. Straightening that left leg, and go ahead and begin to lift your left leg up towards the sky as high as you can. Hold at the top. Keeping your foot flexed or pointed again, we want to engage those muscles. And exhale to lower. Awesome. One again, go ahead and lift up to the sky. And exhale to release. Beautiful. One more time, go ahead and lift up to the sky. This is a trick pose because you're relaxed on one side and engaged on the other. Slowly go ahead and lower back down to the ground. Great. This time we're going to lift up again, but instead of lifting our leg straight up, we're going to bring our knee like we're kind of pulling back a bow and arrow. So you're going to kind of twist your leg open and bring your knee in towards your face and either point or flex your toe. Great. Hold here. Exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly lower back down to the ground. Awesome. Go again. Lift and pull back like a string of a bow and arrow. Exhale to lower. Awesome. One more time. Go ahead and lift up and pull back. Exhale to release. We're really embracing living in our bodies and moving nice and slow. This time we're going to go ahead and switch to the opposite side. So if you're on your mat, just go ahead and roll over. I'm just going to switch to this side so that you're seeing what I'm doing. Awesome. Stretch that arm out to your side. Bend your left knee underneath you. I'm on Wes's mat here. And go ahead and flex that right foot and go ahead and flex or point. Engage that right leg and go ahead and lift it up towards the sky. Hold 1, 2, 3, and exhale to release. Awesome. Inhale to lift up towards the sky again. Hold 1, 2, 3. Exhale to release all the way back down. Awesome. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Awesome. Now we're going into that bow pose. Go ahead and point or flex your toes. Go ahead and pull back. Knee comes towards your face, opening your hips nice and wide here. Engaging those muscles, so flexing or pointing that toe. Exhale to release. Notice how this side feels different from the other side. If it does, it might not at all, but just notice the difference between the two sides. Go ahead and lift and pull back again. Exhale to release. Awesome. Inhale to lift one more time. Exhale to release. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back to your seated pose in the center with your knees pointed towards the sky. Awesome. This is wrong. We're going to go ahead and lay back down again. Sorry, guys. Yeah. All right. Lay back down. This time your legs are going to come directly up like you're sitting against a wall. Your feet and your legs are up against the wall. So your hands are planted on the mat again, fingers spread wide. Flex or point your toes. We're still engaging those thigh muscles here. Awesome. If this is where you want to live for a minute and you just want to enjoy this and this feels nice and yummy to you, stay here. If you want a little bit more from this pose, you can go ahead and switch your feet. So bringing your right leg closer to your face, your left leg down towards the ground, but not all the way touching the ground. And then you can switch the other direction. Or like I said again, you can go ahead and stay here if this feels nice and yummy to you. Awesome. When you're ready, go ahead and slowly begin to widen your legs, lowering them down to the side for a split. You can use your palms here on your thighs and place your elbows on the ground as a table stand here. Just move them closer to your body if your legs are closer together or wider past, but not on your knees. So either on your calves or your thighs here to support them as they fall wider. Or if you want to just completely release, you can go here, or you can even push down a little bit too if you want a little bit further of a stretch here. Just another option for you. Awesome. Point and flex your toes, just feel the difference. Feel where those muscles, what muscles are being worked, what muscles are being given lots of love. And we're just gonna hang out here for a minute so you can switch up your hand position if you need to. But just connect with your breath. And as you begin to shake, really connect with your breath and send lots of oxygen into those muscles. All right, give it a few more breaths. Allow your legs to just fall where they want to. Allow gravity to kind of take over a little bit. Awesome, and slowly begin to draw your legs closer together using your hands so that you don't pull any muscles. And then lower your knees down to the ground. Scooch down your mat just a little bit to prep for this next pose here. Awesome. Go ahead and hug your knees in toward your chest. Begin to lift your legs up towards the sky. Support your back with your hands going into candlestick pose. You probably did this in gym class when you were little. Go ahead and lift all the way up, supporting your lower back. My voice is going to sound nice and funny in this pose. But try and straighten your legs, pointing your toes up towards the sky as much as you can. If this is completely uncomfortable for you, you can bring your knees over here towards your face if you'd like. Or if neither of those work for you and you don't want to do that, you can go into bridge pose again as well. But I like the inversion because it kind of helps to decrease some anxiety and allows you to flow in a different direction and see things from a different perspective than you usually do. Awesome. Go ahead and flex your toes, and if you'd like, you can stay here like we did in the last pose. It's your choice. You can stay here, or you can begin to slowly drop your legs down behind you, going into plow pose. Once you get to a point where you feel like you're gonna fall backward, begin to place your hands on the mat flat so that you're supporting your weight in that direction. And you can drop your toes all the way to the ground, or you can just hang out wherever your toes will come to. If you'd like to try and touch your toes to the ground, it helps to kind of shoot out behind you. Instead of thinking down, think out and down. Tuck your chin in towards your chest so that you protect the back of your neck and your spine. Trying to keep your knees together here instead of coming around like this. You can do that, that's just a different pose. Awesome. Slowly begin to lift either back up or start to bring your knees in towards your chest here and slowly lower back to the ground. With lots of control. Awesome. My voice is back to normal now. Awesome. Keep your feet planted hip width apart and go ahead and begin to crawl up so that your chest is toward the sky again. We're coming back to this position here where your arms are about shoulder width apart behind you. Fingers are pointed towards your feet. Fingers spread nice and wide. We're gonna come into boat pose here. So go ahead and bend your elbows, lean back so that you're in like that V shape. And then begin to lift your toes up off of the ground. And go ahead and keep your shins parallel with the ground, pointing or flexing your feet. Awesome. Go ahead and widen the V a little bit so that your feet come forward a little bit. You lean back. See how that feels? Awesome, lift up a little bit. So that you close the V shape. And then try and bring your, oh, I'm shaking already. Try and bring your hands to your legs here. Or you can keep your hands back behind you. But we're gonna stay here for just a second. So hands by your shins. You can straighten out your legs if you'd like, or you can stay here. Awesome, once you hold here for a second, exhale and bring them all the way back down the center. Go ahead and shake out your knees from side to side. It was rough, huh? Wes didn't like that pose. It's good for your core though. We love it. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna go back into it one more time. I want you to just challenge yourself a little bit. So if you stayed here, go ahead and bring your arms to the side again. But plant underneath your shoulders, fingers towards your feet. Slowly lift up your shins so that they're parallel with the ground. Awesome. This time, instead of moving your V, go ahead and just bring your hands directly to the side of your legs here. Awesome. Breathe. Find that breath. Focus on how much love you're giving your body right now. That was what always helps me. How much you love your body and how much love you're giving to it. And on an exhale, go ahead and slowly lower back down to the ground. Come all the way through, bring your knees to the outer edges of your mat and sit back in child's pose. So toes together, knees as wide as your mat, fingers walk forward, chest drops down to the ground, forehead touches the mat if you can, or go ahead and just melt your heart. While I check and see what we're doing next, just relax in this pose, connect with your breath. Beautiful. We're finally going to get up off of the mat. So go ahead and when you're ready, inhale and then exhale to push back into downward facing dog. So inhale to lift up to your knees. Exhale to push up and back. Heart melts towards your thighs. Your gaze comes to your knees or your thighs so that your chest is in between your shoulders here. Fingers are spread wide on the mat. You can keep your knees bent here if you'd like. If that helps you to get your chest down towards your thighs, that's a really great position to be in. Beautiful. On an inhale, on an exhale, go ahead and bend your knees, send your gaze forward, step or walk to the top of your mat in between your hands, or up to your hands. And inhale to lift all the way up, gaze in between your fingers. Palms come together, hands come to heart center. Awesome, we're standing, so there should be some blood rushing here. So just sit here and enjoy the energy in your body for just a moment, for a few breaths. Awesome, drop your hands by your side, interlace your fingers behind your back, and go ahead and forward fold, planting your feet about hip width apart on your mat, and slowly begin to fold forward, allowing your arms to come up and over, and your shoulders and your hands to drop behind you wherever they would like to. If you need to bend your knees here so that your chest is rested on your knees, you can do that. Connect with your breath. Awesome. Slowly with control, bring your shoulders back and drop them down, lifting your chest up, coming into chair pose. Awesome. On an exhale, go ahead and plant your hands down on the mat, bending your knees as generously as you need to. Step back into your plank position. Move forward up onto your tiptoes and moving your shoulders past your wrists. Slowly lower Chaturanga Dandasana so that your elbows stay in towards your rib cage. Slowly lower all the way down and then lift up into Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. So your knees can either be on the mat here or lifted up off of the mat. Awesome, curl your toes under, push up and back into downward facing dog. Awesome, right leg comes up towards the sky, three-legged dog. And you can either come down to your knees to move forward here, or you can bring your knee in towards your chest and step in between your hands, coming into that high lunge, but then rotating immediately on that back foot to come into warrior two. So front knee is bent so that you're in a 90-degree angle over your ankle here, and then your fingers are pointed in either direction, parallel with the earth below you, and your gaze is over those front fingers. Go ahead and tuck your tailbone. I'm going to switch to this side actually. Tuck your tailbone and engage your ribs so that you're hugging your ribs in, keeping that spine nice and straight. Awesome, we're gonna move into warrior three, which is actually if you plant all of your weight into that right foot at the front of your mat, you're gonna lift up, and if you need to walk your foot up to the front, that's fine, but you're gonna lift off, bringing your hands straight out in front of you, balancing on that foot and lifting that left leg up behind you. If you fall, that is okay. Just go ahead and go back into it again. Awesome, chest is angled down towards the ground. Awesome, when you release, go ahead and cross that left leg behind your right leg so that you're here like you have to pee or something. You didn't think that was very funny, that's okay. And we're gonna go ahead and forward fold here. So go ahead and bring your arms up and then slowly release and drop to wherever you can here, but just keeping your legs crossed. Hands can be at your thighs, they can be at your side, they can be on your shins, they can be on your feet or on the ground. Whatever will give you that deep, yummy stretch. Awesome. Unwind your feet so that they're parallel again, hip width apart. Plant your hands on the ground, step or hop back into that plank position. And Chaturanga Dandasana, take your vinyasa and meet in downward facing dog. So lower, lift up, upward facing dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. This time, left leg lifts up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Again, go ahead and either come to your knees or bring your knee directly to your chest, stepping in between your hands at the front of your mat, pivoting on that back foot and opening up directly into warrior two. Yep. Love it. Beautiful. Keeping that 90-degree bend, tucking your tailbone, hugging your rib cage in. Keeping your muscles engaged at your belly. This is a full body pose, so every muscle in your body should be engaged. When you're ready, go ahead and plant your weight into that left foot. Go ahead and lift up off of that back foot. I'm gonna push him over. Lift up into that front foot. Chest is pointed toward the ground. Lifting that back leg up off of the ground. You can even bring your hands to your sides if that helps you balance here. Whew, I'm falling over. Sometimes you just gotta laugh, your equilibrium is off. Awesome, to release, go ahead and cross those ankles behind you and go back into that forward fold. Hands come to either shins, hips, thighs, feet, or the ground. Take one last deep breath, and on your next exhale, go ahead and unwind, bringing your feet hip width apart. This time, instead of going down, you're gonna lift all the way up, sending your gaze in between your thumbs, bringing your hands down by your side. Beautiful. Okay, let's go. Let me check time really, really quick. Awesome, we got time. Okay, let's go ahead and do tree pose. So, settle into your foundation here. Check in with your feet. Lift your toes up off of the mat. Plant into all four corners of your feet here. Then slowly begin to lower starting with your pinky toe, lower your toes to the mat. Shift your weight into your right foot and go ahead and lift up your left foot, either to your calf here, bringing your hands wherever you like, or to your thigh there. Your hands can be at prayer position, they can be at cactus, they can be above your head, sending your gaze up high. But wherever you are, find that drishti, that inner focus and outer focus. So inner focus so that we're aware of our bodies and strengthening our bodies, and outer focus so that we can find our balance. Awesome. Bring the corners of your mouth up into a smile. Laugh at yourself if you fall over. Awesome. Exhale to bring your foot back down to your side. Jiggle out those legs a little bit. And begin to shift the weight this time over into the left foot, checking in with your foundation one more time. Shift the weight into your left foot. Begin to bring your right leg up to either your calf or your thigh. Avoid putting your foot on your knee. That's going to put a lot of pressure into your joint there, and we want to avoid that. So open those hips nice and wide. Connect with your breath. Tuck your tailbone. Engage those buttocks muscles. Send extra love wherever your body needs right now, and then when you're ready, begin to exhale, slowly lower your foot back down to the ground. Awesome. Feet come shoulder width apart again. We're gonna drop into Malasana squat. So point your toes either straight or a little bit diagonal. Just don't widen them all the way so that you keep some pressure off of your knees. And begin to drop slowly down, keeping your hands at your heart here, hands at your heart, slowly drop down. Malasana squat, you can come up onto your toes if you need to. My mother is very flexible in her ankles here, so she can come all the way down, but not everybody has the same bodies. You can shift back and forth here if you'd like, or you can stay in one motion. This feels really, really delicious once you get once you get the hang of it. Blah, 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 blah. Awesome. Hang out here, connect with your breath. If you would like to, close your eyes and just really live in this pose, really accept the stillness of this pose. Awesome. When you're ready, go ahead and put your fingertips on the ground. You can arch your back a little bit if you'd like, just to get a little bit of a spine stretch here. And then bring your knees slowly, planting your hands on the ground, bringing your knees slowly down to the ground. Putting most of the pressure on your arm muscles so that you don't hurt your hips or your joints here. Awesome. And now is where you're gonna want that pillow or blanket again. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to you because you might need it. But we're gonna keep your toes pointed backwards, widen your legs a little bit, sit all the way back so that you're in between your heels here. If you need something to sit on, that's where you wanna grab your pillow or your blanket if your bum can't come all the way back down. And then you're gonna slowly drop behind onto your back. You can come to your elbows here if that's comfortable for you, or if you want a nice little rest, grab as many pillows and blankets as you need to, prop them up behind your spine here, and just lay down on them. I'm gonna roll this up a little bit. And then just widen your stance and allow your body to just melt into this pose. If that hurts you, come back to where you're comfortable. That's what you don't want. If it's hurting you that bad, go ahead and lift up. You can even lift onto your hands here if that's as far back as you want to go. or is comfortable for you, that's where you want to begin. Also, if you're feeling, sometimes I feel a little bit of pressure underneath the bones in my toes, you can roll up your mat from the side like this and lift your foot onto the mat like that. That'll give you a little bit of extra cushion, or you can bring another pillow or blanket behind you. Awesome, hang out here. Connect to your breath. Awesome, slowly begin to lift up. Awesome, bring your heels together underneath you, so lift up onto your knees if you need to. Heels together, knees together. We're gonna sit in the same pose, but instead of sitting in between our knees this time, we're gonna sit on top of our heels. And we're gonna go back to that breath that we did at the beginning, the Ujjayi breath at the back of your throat, breathing in for four seconds, holding for 3 seconds, and breathing out for 4 seconds, and then holding at the bottom for 3 seconds. Ready? Mm-hmm. All right, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3. Hold. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. And then just begin to come back into your usual breath. So whether you open your mouth or not. Awesome. Come back into Dandasana that we did at the beginning. So your legs shoot out in front of you. Those toes flex towards your face. Arms come to your sides here. Awesome. We're going to do the same thing that we did at the beginning. So flex your toes to your face. Go ahead and lift your heels up off of the ground if you can, or if you'd like to. Flexing those thigh muscles, lifting your kneecaps towards your center. Exhale to release. Awesome. Inhale, flex. Remembering to connect with that breath. Exhale to release. Awesome. One more time. Inhale, flex. Awesome. Exhale to release. Begin to slowly make your way onto your back. If you'd like, you can bring your knees up to your chest and roll back and forth. I always like to end my practice with a little bit of a spinal massage, just because I feel like I deserve a massage every once in a while. So you can roll back and forth if you'd like. Or you can just hug your knees into your chest and lay down and revel in the stillness. But ending on your back, no matter where you are or what you decide to do. Awesome. Keep your right knee hugged in towards your chest and allow your left knee to straighten out in front of you. Scoot up so we're both in a relax. Flex your toes, those left toes towards your face, pulling that knee towards your chest, that right knee. Keeping both feet flexed or pointed. Awesome. Relax into the stillness of this pose. Try not to fidget or mess with any clothes or your hair. And then bring your left knee up towards your chest. cross your right ankle over your left knee so that you're kind of setting it like your, what do they call that? The dad cross. How dads cross their legs. They put their ankle on the top of their knee. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Excuse my nerdy jokes. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just pull both of your thighs towards your chest here. Either way, you just want to pull this knee in towards your chest, your right knee in towards your chest. You can straighten out this left leg here if you'd like. See how that feels different. I find that I get a little bit deeper of a hamstring stretch if I keep my knee bent and pull here. That might be different for you. We're all a little different. Awesome. Breathe in, pull a little, and exhale to pull in a little deeper. Deepen that stretch just a little bit. And then release all the way down. Switching your knees so that this time your left knee comes in towards your chest and your right leg is straight out in front of you. Flexing or pointing your toes. Awesome. Hugging that left knee in towards your chest. Try and keep everything in a straight line here. And if you find that your right hip begins to lift up off of the ground a little bit, or your right leg begins to lift up off of the ground a little bit, go ahead and smooth it out with your hand, just using your right hand to push your thigh down towards the ground. Beautiful. Bring your right knee up, crossing your left ankle over your right knee. Go ahead and thread the needle here. So either grab your thigh or the outer edges of both of your thighs and begin to bring your knee, your ankle and your knee towards your chest, towards your heart. Remember to play around with straightening and bending your knee, your right knee, to see what gives you that better stretch for you. Awesome. Exhale to release. Bring both feet parallel here so that your knees are pointed up towards the sky again, and begin to slowly drop your knees to the left side, bringing your arms out into a Texas T. You can grab that pillow or blanket here again and go ahead and lift your neck up if you'd like, or place it underneath your back if you need a little lift. Gaze over your right shoulder. Knees come back to center and shift towards the other side. Head turns towards your left shoulder this time. Feel the tension or the energy that we built up begin to soften throughout your body so that it's now, instead of holding in your thighs where you worked probably the most this yoga class, it's spreading throughout your body and giving you all of the energy, all of the light, all of the good vibes that you need. Beautiful. Knees come back up to center. Slowly begin to just drop them from side to side until your legs straighten out in front of you. Awesome. We're going to move into Shavasana. There are two options for Shavasana today. So you can either have a more supported approach in that sense. Let me grab this pillow really quick. You're going to grab a pillow and a blanket. You're going to put one underneath your knees. This can be as high or as low as you need it to. The other one is going to come either directly under your shoulders so that your head is relaxed. Let me show you what it looks like. Your head is relaxed back here. or it's going to come under your neck, wherever you feel most support. You can even do both if you'd like, and then keep your arms down by your sides here. Or you can lay in normal Shavasana, where you just come onto your back, arms come to your side. Move around and shift until you find the spot that is going to make you 10%, 50% more comfortable, so that you can really relax into your Shavasana. Begin to flex your toes, point your toes. And then allow all tension to release from your feet. Flexing your calf muscles and releasing. Flexing your knees and your thighs, releasing. Flexing your glute muscles, releasing. Your stomach muscles and your lower back muscles, releasing. Begin to roll your shoulders, flexing, clenching your fingers into fists here, and really flex your arm muscles, your shoulder and your upper back, and then release. Allow it to travel up to your face. Just start to scrunch your face around. You can open your mouth and do a wide, what they call a lion's breath. So your exhale is with your tongue out of your mouth. Like that. Scrunch up your forehead. Allow all tension to melt into the mat. Knowing that you are supported by this beautiful thing we call Mother Nature, Mother Earth. You are safe here. No matter what the following weeks may bring, you are supported. Allow your breaths to rise and fall as they will, and give into this pose, the Shavasana. Slowly bring some awareness back to your body. That by breathing in deeper, wiggling your fingers and toes, moving your head from side to side. In your own time, begin to move your body, whatever little way feels good to you. And start to stretch like you do in the morning. And roll onto whatever side is most comfortable for you. Bringing your knees in toward your chest, using your arm as a pillow. In fetal position here. Hopefully you cultivated some peace in the last 10 minutes of Shavasana. Just remember that you can cultivate that peace and that calm whenever you'd like. No matter how crazy the world gets, there's always silence. There will always, always, always be silence. When you're ready, go ahead and raise up to a seated position, slowly making your way using your hands to lift all the way up. Straighten your spine, bring your hands to heart center. The divine light in me recognizes, honors, and loves the divine light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys. We will see you in our next video. Hopefully it should be ready on Saturday morning. So we'll see you back wherever you are watching this on Saturday morning. Goodbye, good night, good morning, or whenever this is. Have a great day.